all had to make some sacrifices to be here on time. Some of you were here like early enough for us to start at 5 p.m. But let me thank those who were coming from out of town to be here. JP Clifton Morris, representing the Honorable Edith Chin, Custos Rotulorum of the Parish of Clarendon, Councillor Joel Williams, or Mayor for Maypen, DSP Anton Cardoza, our Operations Director, giving him a new title here in Clarendon, representing Senior Superintendent Shane McCullough. There have been so many changes in rapid succession that I'm trying to remember which of the SSB, but let me welcome Sir Cardoza and the team from the Clarendon Safety and Security Branch. We have with him, we're going to just go right into recognizing everyone. So let me start again from the top in the interest of time so that we start the networking going. So let me start from the top. JP Clifton Morris, when I call your name, could you please stand so everyone knows who you are, representing the Honorable Edith Chin, Custos for the Parish of Clarendon. We have with us Councillor Joel Williams, Mayor of Maypen, DSP Anton Cardoza, representing our senior soup for the Parish of Clarendon. And along with them, his team members. I did not get one of the names, but let me start with those that I know. We have our Territorial Officer, Sergeant Chambers. We have our Business Network Coordinator with us, Constable, always giving them a rank above, you know. So, our Enrico Francis. And we also have our lead for the Corporal Nelson, right? And those in the town center should be familiar with Corporal Nelson. If you didn't know the name, you would have seen the face. Always out there checking in with the businesses in the town. We also have with us going down in from the Office of the Custos and the Clarendon Parish Development Committee, Eureka Douglas, our General Manager, jack of all trades, and I mean she's master of many of those trades. All right, Joseph Grant, our Parish Manager for Clarendon Health Department, accompanied by the lady in red, CEO for the Maypen Hospital, Eugenia Clark James. Is there any other member of the team here? Not as yet. All right. We have with us from SDC, Pollyanna Bailey. Is Mr. McKenzie going to be joining us? All right. Pollyanna Bailey representing the Social Development Commission. All right. And then let me move on to our business community. We have with us from the Parish Development Committee, Mrs. Cloverlyn Smith Morris, JP, the chair for our hard-working Parish Development Committee. All right, let me see. All right, for the home service now, the businesses, because whether you're a member of the chamber already or you are signing on today, you are here with us, inviting the other member stakeholders here to join us. So we have with us from the Chamber of Commerce, Junior Wilson, Stoplight Wholesale, will be gracing us up front in a little while, and you'll learn more about him. And I'm going to pause here in the interest of time to recognize all the other business representatives here. Don't worry, you'll get a chance to share more as we go throughout the program. And for those of you who I've spoken to on the telephone, but we are just meeting in person, I am Winsome Whittle, President for the Maypen Chamber of Commerce and Industry, and it is my pleasure to welcome you here to the Clarendon Business Pulse, Insights, Impact, and Opportunities, which is a town hall meeting designed to foster meaningful dialogue align strategies and strengthen collaboration between the business community and key decision makers. And for those of you who have known me for a while, you know collaboration is like a part of my middle name. And so that's why we're here, because we should know by now that Clarendon is a hub of commerce, industry, and huge potential awaits us. However, like many thriving economies, we face challenges that require collective solutions. So that's why we're here this afternoon, to identify actionable strategies that will guide and drive growth, enhance public-private partnerships, and create a more secure, resilient, and prosperous business environment. So through this town hall, we aim to bridge the gap between policy and practice, because we know in the business community that policy don't always align with practice, because we have to deal with the individuals as they come in. We want to also bridge the gap between governance and enterprise, as in the businesses, security and sustainability, all to ensure that Clarendon continues to be a place where businesses thrive and communities flourish. So let me encourage you all to engage actively, ask your questions at the appropriate time. Most importantly, share your insights and seize the opportunity to build relationships that will strengthen our business ecosystem. So once again, let me thank you for being here and for your commitment to the progress and prosperity of our beautiful parish of Clarendon. And we have some non-Clarendonians who are here with us, but we like to adopt people, you see. So we welcome you warmly. And for those who are joining us online, a warm welcome to you. I know those in Canada and the US, they are thawing out now. So let me welcome you. And just to share that this concept came out of a request from the Local Governance and Community Development Live Forum that we have on 4 Thursdays with that Serenity Resource Connector, the organization that I head in collaboration with the Municipal Corporation. A Clarendonian from Canada saw the series that we had back in 2022, where the councillors were highlighting what it is that they do in their division, and wanted to have a connection with the parish so that they can see how best they can invest to build the parish of Clarendon. So let me welcome Lloydell Reed. I hope I'm getting the last name right. So Reed, thank you so much for being a part of this concept and for joining in with us. So, with all that being said, it is time for us to invoke the presence of our Lord and Savior in our midst. And we ask our very own Junior Wilson of Stoplight Wholesale to do the opening prayer at this time. Sir Wilson.
Good evening. Hello, hello. Yes, good evening, everyone, again. Thank you for inviting me. First, before we go into prayer, I just want to take the opportunity to thank everyone here for the support me and my wife, my family got, and at the funeral service of my son. The support was tremendous, the business and wider community of Mapen. So I really just want to use the opportunity to thank everyone. And it shows that, you know, the type of town Mapen is. People support each other and the unity. It was tremendous. I just want to show my appreciation. Well, with everything we do, we must try and have the presence of the Lord. You know, that's how I live my life, and I know that's how you guys live your life. So we'll just do a short prayer and welcome the presence of the Lord. Lord God, we come before you this evening. As we come together at this function, Lord, we just want to acknowledge your presence, God. Because with everything that we do, it's not possible without you. We just drive in, coming here. It's all possible because of you. everything that we do, God, it's all possible because of you. So, Father, we just want to glorify you. We just want to worship you, and we just want to acknowledge you. Father, this function, as we go about, it's all about trying to make Mapen a better place and the wider surroundings, because Mapen is the center. And when everything is good with Mapen, it will be good all around. But Father, nothing is possible without you. So we're calling upon you, Father, to bless this function. Bless Mapen, bless the business place, bless the hospital, bless the security forces, bless everyone who is connected, bless the government officials, God. And Father, we pray that when they make decisions, there will be no partiality. They'll make decisions for the better interests of Mapen and the wider community. So, Father, we just want your presence with everything that we do, Father. Father, you're up there and you see the crime situation. You see the poverty. You see everything, Father. And more than ever, God, we need your presence, Father, with everything that we do, our safety, our livelihood, our home, everything, God. We pray that you will bless Mapen, bless the Chamber of Commerce, as we strive to make Mapen a better place. Bless all the individuals who are involved in this, God, because nothing, God, is possible without you, God. We need you at the front, God. We need you at the front, God. God, we come before you, we worship you. And as I say, God, this gathering, we just put everything before you. And we pray that when we leave here with better decisions. And Father, when we go home, on our way home, we pray to you, no accident, no incident. Everyone will reach home safely, God. And Father, we put all of this before you in Jesus' name. Amen.
Thank you, Sir Wilson. Amen. Thank you for that. All right, so we have a minister at the Chamber of Commerce, of religion that is. All right, so moving right along in the program, welcome, Sir Spencer, and others that came in after the official welcome earlier. All right, so we're going to move right into greetings. Representing the Honorable Edith Chin, Custos Rotolorum of Clarendon, J.P. Clifton Morris, and after J.P. Morris, we'll have Councillor Joel Williams, His Worship, Mayor of Mapen, in that order.
Moderator Winsome Witter, JP. His Worship, the Mayor, Councillor Joel Williams, CD JP, representatives from the Clarendon Parish Development Committee, representatives from the Health Department, the Clarendon Municipal Corporation, DSP Cardozo, representing the SSP, other members of the Clarendon Police Division, members of the Mapen Chamber of Commerce and Industry, business leaders, and heads of other departments, other distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, good evening. The Honorable Custos Edith Chin regrets she is unable to be present at this town hall meeting. And so the privilege is mine to deliver the message from the office of the Custos. And the message reads thus. It is an honor to greet you well this evening at the first business town hall for 2025, focusing on Clarendon, Business Pulse. Insights, impact, and opportunities. The Maypen Chamber of Commerce and Industry has meticulously arranged this significant event, bringing together essential stakeholders from government, law enforcement, public health, parish development, and our dynamic business community. This evening's event truly represents the Chamber's tagline: uniting business, community, and leadership for a thriving Clarendon. This collaboration is essential for effectively tackling challenges and for exploring the numerous opportunities present in our parish. For me, Clarendon is currently grappling with significant challenges, including persistent traffic congestion and the urgent need to realign our roads and drainage. These enhancements are crucial for tackling our efficient, accessible, and user-friendly community. By collaboratively tackling these challenges, we will greatly improve the quality of life and economic opportunities within our community. One of passion as custos of the parish is to develop an initiative that explores and highlights the hidden treasures and potentials of Clarendon. My goal is to attract investment and showcase the immense potential of our parish. We can certainly explore these ideas during the question and answer session. That said, I would like to express my appreciation to the speakers from the Clarendon Parish Development Committee, Clarendon Health Department, Clarendon Municipal Corporation, and the Clarendon Division for being with us this evening. Each will offer essential insights into current initiatives, highlights urgent challenges, and importantly, propose practical avenues for enhancing collaboration between the public and the private sectors. I encourage all attendees to participate actively in the interactive panel discussion and the question and answer session. Your contributions will play a crucial role in developing practical solutions and maturing significant connections, guaranteeing enduring positive impacts on Clarendon's economic and social sectors. I would like to extend my heartfelt gratitude to Mrs. Winsome Whittle for her exceptional leadership of the Maypen Chamber of Commerce and Industry. Mrs. Whittle, your unwavering dedication consistently improves the visibility, relevance, and impact of this essential organization. May tonight mark a significant step forward in fostering collaboration, creating impactful solutions, and achieving shared successes for everyone in Clarendon. I thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for listening to me. And
Thank you, J.P. Morris. And now we'll be graced with the presence of our Mayor, Councillor Joel Williams.
Thank you very much, Madam Moderator. And I think I ask that I use this opportunity to stand on the protocol already established. Nonetheless, I want to use the opportunity to welcome, to recognize the Custos representative, J.P. Morris. Use this opportunity and say good evening to everyone. It is a privilege to be here this evening for the business community of Maypen Pulse Insight Impact Opportunity meeting. I want to commend the Maypen Chamber of Commerce and Industry for organizing this timely gathering, bringing together business leaders, community stakeholders, and key agencies with all share vision, building a stronger and more prosperous Clarendon. As I stand here this afternoon, I see many faces, individuals with whom I share a close relationship, people I have grown with over the many years. Through life has taken us on different paths, we remain connected by a common goal. The development and progress of our beloved parish, it is this spirit of unity, resilience, and sheer ambition that will drive Clarendon forward. Our parish is filled with potential, and it is through collaboration, innovation, and strong leadership that we will unlock greater opportunities for business. Clarendon is standing on the threshold of exciting times. If I dare to say, our health sector is in for a great improvement, and I'm sure you'll hear much about that today. The PATH program will bring more efficiency in terms of creating better roads and infrastructure for the business in and around Clarendon to continue to thrive and find its rightful place that I think that we have been missing for many years. A chance, the quality of life for all. As your mayor, I remain committed to working alongside you, ensuring that Clarendon continues to thrive and flourish. Let us engage meaningfully in this evening discussion, embrace new opportunities, and commit ourselves to the collective success of our business community. It would be remiss of me if I did not take the opportunity to say thanks to members of the security forces who has the opportunity to lead the force within our parish. Over the last year, we have made tremendous impact. They would have made tremendous impact as it relates to security within our community. To the leadership, I want to say thank you, because it's only through security, goodwill, and peaceful community, that the business community will be able to thrive in a prosperous way. Ladies and gentlemen, I hope that this evening will be an evening of fruitfulness, one that will bring more light, and you will address those areas of responsibility that falls on my shoulder and the shoulder of the health sector and the shoulders of the security forces as we seek to build a better community and a Clarendon in which all of us will be proud to be a part of. Thank you very much, and God bless you.
Thank you, Mayor. All right, so you've heard from our custos and the mayor. And of course, we are streaming live on the Serenity Resource Connector platform, and we have a live comment. So I'm going to ask Lavina, Serenity Resource Connector Youth Forum host, to share with us, bring in the virtual audience. All right, go right ahead, Lavina, and share with us what's going on the YouTube platform.
Thank you so much for that. Good evening, everyone. As you have mentioned, we are streaming live, as you would have seen on the television screen right here. And we have people tuned in, eager to hear about the town hall's proceedings. Now, the comment that we have here is from Daniel Simpson, and he says, "Thank you for allowing us to view this event. Great audio and visual." Now, of course, while the event is going on, the town hall meeting, we're going to be sharing the live comments so you can also hear varying perspectives from persons who were not able to make it here. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Clavina. Fantastic. All right, so off stage, all right, you continue to maintain your partnership with Serenity Resource Connector and Gen X Production. Thank you for making us look good coming out of the Mapen Chamber of Commerce and Industry. And of course, we are at the point why we are here because we cannot operate effectively and sustainably as a business community without our stakeholders, without the leaders in our space. And we are going to be hearing now some insights from our different entities, after which we'll have an interactive panel discussion followed by Q&A. Let me make sure we have the right thing up there, right? Hope you're following with us. Right, then we'll take your questions and, of course, your input as well as we strive to move forward in a united front in building our space. So at this time, we are going to get started with a 7-minute address from our there's so many titles that she has, you know. Ms. Eureka Douglas, representing the Parish Development Committee Benevolent Society, will share with us at this time. Let's make her welcome. Thank you. Let's go ahead.
JP Clifton Morris, His Worship the Mayor, Councillor Joel Williams, other agency reps, members of the Chambers of Commerce, fellow members of the Parish Development Committee, and I have to acknowledge some of our members in the audience, Mrs. Clovelyn Smith-Morris, Mrs. Lorraine Cousins, and of course, Romeo Mitchell, and I'm seeing our major resource person from the Social Development Commission, Terrence Anderson. I have to recognize all of these persons because the Parish Development Committee is made up of persons right across the parish. Because this is an evening event, we do not have what we call the development area representatives, but there are 8 development areas for those who do not know right across the parish, starting from Kellitts in the north to Milk River and Lioneltown in the south, And the Parish Development Committee operates from that perspective, making sure that we have representation from local citizens who can advise us on where to go with our parish. Today, I present on behalf of the PDC, Parish Development Committee, an organization that is deeply committed to sustainable development across the parish. We are guided by something called the Clarendon Local Sustainable Development Plan, LSDP. And I'll stop here to ask the audience, how many persons know that there's a blueprint, that there's a plan for Clarendon that was developed in 2016 and 2017? Anybody knows? I see only one hand. There is a plan that was developed in partnership with the Clarendon Municipal Corporation and all the residents and stakeholders across the parish. And I would advise you to get in touch with us or the Municipal Corporation, the planning department, to get a copy of the plan, get a link to it. There's a main document which is very comprehensive. It deals with economic development, social well-being, it looks at the environment, and it also looks at governance. And this is the blueprint that has been guiding the development within the parish. What we try to do as a non-government organization is to ensure that citizens have a voice in creating some of the decisions and making sure that persons form a part of the decision-making policies in the parish. Just want to tell you a little bit about where we started. The PDC started across every parish in the country in 1999. And we had leadership from former Custos William Shogori from 2000 to 2010. Since then, we have propelled significantly, making strides, taking in more than 15 million US across to the parish in different areas. And I'll go through some of those areas. And many people don't know that all of this is taking place. But that's why we are here this evening to share with you. Our present Custos, Edith Chin, supports all the work that we have been doing and is a part of the development process. And we are in the process of looking at where we can go as a parish. So one of the things that I would like to say to you, we are not the parish council, we are not the CMC. We work with the CMC in ensuring that citizens have a voice. So we have representatives attending CMC meetings and speaking on behalf of the citizens in the parish. Let me just speak, 7 minutes is short, but let me just speak a little bit about the collaboration with the Chamber of Commerce. This event is one of the collaborations. We work very closely with the Chamber of Commerce. Mrs. Witter is one of the Committee of Management executive members, and she speaks on behalf of the business community. We have collaborated in hosting various events, promoting meetings. We even work with the police in hosting the Business Watch meetings. So we have been going right across the border. If you have heard about the Christmas treat, the annual Christmas treat, this is from one of our subcommittees called the Crime Prevention Committee, which we have held since 2006, supporting nearly 3,000 persons every year, including Children's Home and the infirmary. We have done many projects supporting the enhancement and feeding programs right across with schools across the parish. And just to name a few, we are currently working with Maypen Primary, Victoria Primary, Rock River Primary, and Simon Primary. We are putting in greenhouses and solar systems sponsored by Global Environment Facility Small Grants Program. I mentioned that and I pause because one of our major funding opportunities is partnering with international and local funding agencies to bring funding into the school systems. We have done several water harvesting projects right across the parish. One of our pilots was at Pleasant Valley, where we did a communal water harvesting system. And right now, we are doing a project in Grantham, close to Frankfield, where we are repairing the entombment of a spring in that area and putting in piping to take across the small community of Grantham. So within that community, there's a district called Kilsit, and that's where the Kilsit Primary School is, and we're running pipelines right up to the spring. And this is in tandem with the municipal corporations, minor water supply youth, and the Ministry of Health, because we have to ensure that we follow the correct guidelines. We also are undertaking, we have just completed a business project, and this is one of several over the years where we have looked at enhancing the skill sets and providing seed funding for small business operators. And that is one of the planks on which we partner with the Chamber of Commerce to support these persons. We just completed training 30 young people in small business management. They have been certified by HEART, and they all got $150,000 to support their businesses. This was through the Canada Leaf Fund. And we're very proud of that because we started with like 50 persons and our target was 30. We kept the 30 persons, and all of them are now actively involved in their businesses, from livestock to cosmetology, catering, all of that. We're also adding another chapter to the local sustainable plan. And this is something that is very critical at this stage. We're doing a chapter on mainstreaming migration into planning. So what we have been doing is working with the Clarendon Municipal Corporation, the local sustainable development planning implementation committee, to make sure that we look at all those persons who are involuntarily or voluntarily returning to the parish. You know, coincidentally, when we started to discuss this project, there was no change in government in the United States, and there was no major threat. But now we see the significance of that project. What we have been doing, we have talked to persons across the 22 divisions, parish council divisions, about what they feel is necessary for migration policies and how we can cater to those persons who are involuntarily or voluntarily returning to the country. And so that is one of the projects that we are involved in, and we'll be talking to you a little bit more about that. Of course, I could go on and on, but those are the key collaborations. One of the other things that happens with the PDC is once there's a plan coming into the parish, once there's a new initiative coming into the parish, we are the organization that are consulted along with the SDC. And so we bring persons together to talk about their own views regarding maybe some issues, including health centers, which Mr. Grant will talk about later. But we talk about and we provide that forum to find out if this is where citizens would want to go. So what we want to say to you is that together we can amplify. This is one of the best parish development committees across the island. We are the ones that has been functioning since 1999. As I said, we have brought in tremendous projects into the parish that have impacted the communities. We do not toot our own horn, so you won't hear us advertising, but we are working silently with the partners in the parish through our development area committees, and we are making a difference. We want to achieve greater sustainability and ensure continued development and create a more thriving Clarendon. So with that, I hope I've stuck to the 7 minutes. Thank you very much for listening to me.
Thank you so much for sharing, Ms. Douglas. Amazing. All right. So for those who did not know what the Parish Development Committee does, now you have a little tips, because they do so much more than what was shared here, and in terms of mobilization and the development and a lot of collaboration and partnerships in the parish. So let me pause before we move on to our next presenter to welcome those who joined us on our live stream. Welcome the correspondent from Nationwide News Network who joined us. Thank you so much for tuning in. Technology makes life so much easier. The media don't even come in person, but they are tuned in. So thank you very much for being here with us virtually. And we move from parish development and we are going on over to public health, because we can't have development without a healthy space. So let's welcome our representative, Sir Grant, from the Clarendon Health Services. I know the last part changed on me, you know. Boy, so many changes. Welcome, Sir Grant. Thank you for being here with us.
Good afternoon, everyone. Come on, people. Good afternoon, everyone. It's good to be alive, and it's good to be in our right mind. None of you are before the mental health department right now, and none of you laying down in the hospital. So we are alive, and we are able to speak. Permit me, Madam President, like our mayor, to stand on the protocol that has already been established. And with 7 minutes for me, if I should be permitted, I would probably have the entire afternoon going all the way up to 7 p.m. But I will just use a quote from Albert Einstein. He states that not everything that counts can be counted, and not everything that counted really counts. So if I should go on this evening, I would be able to elaborate all the way through, but I'll just highlight a few priorities as to what is happening. But let me just first and foremost let you understand a little about, please, I'm happy to have with me Mrs. Eugenia Clark James. She is the CEO for the Maypen Hospital, and she's doing a distinguished job leading that facility. For the Clarendon Health Services, just a quick overview. We have 32 health centers. We have 3 hospitals, 9 health districts, and just about 1,450, 1,500 staff members serving a population of just about 260,000 persons. And for emphasis, every year passing through our facilities, we have over 200,000 clients being served. That is significant, don't it? And from that amount of persons passing through, you would expect a lot of complaints, Mayor, but thanks be to God, we have complaints, but not over the top. Let me just give you a quick highlight as to what is happening in the health services. Currently, you will understand that across the parish, we are doing major infrastructure development in order to better serve the people that we cater to for our clients from day to day, 7 days per week, 24 hours per day. Correct, Mrs. James? We are serving the people of Clarendon. In Chapelton, in Moko, in Maypen, Maypen East, and all over the parish, we are having infrastructure development. On Friday of this week, we will be having the reopening of the Frankfield Health Center, which underwent major infrastructure development. But for emphasis, what I want you to observe just right now, any one of you drive past Maypen Hospital, you must have seen the change that has taken place there. Yeah? Significant development. We are constructing the boundary wall. We have just finished constructing the north boundary wall. We are now moving on towards constructing the east boundary wall. We are in the process of doing the relocation exercise where we are building out new car parks, sewage development. We are doing right now, close before in the municipal corporation, the outpatient development, where specialist clinic, where we will be doing major work on that facility. As we speak, we have work going on at the Darlow Health Center, small as they may be. Darlow Health Center, Tollgate Health Center. We are about to go over to Racecourse Health Center. Do you want me to go on and on, Madam President? There are so many things happening for us in the parish, and we are grateful. Of significant interest, all of you here should remember what happened during COVID-19. The health services were at the forefront of battling the pandemic. You recall? And you recall how you had to be out there? And one of the challenges we had, Madam President, is the lack of oxygen in the parish. I had to borrow the Custos truck from time to time, running to Kingston to get oxygen. But guess what? In the coming quarter of this financial year, right on the grounds of Big Pen Hospital, we will be undertaking the oxygen development project, whereby we will Stewart to run all the way into Kingston to be supplying oxygen. And from that plant, we will be able to supply our health facilities that has to be struggling to get oxygen. And you know very well, if you have any relatives or friend that is sick and come to the facility, the challenge that they face if they're unable to get adequate oxygen. You're aware, people, don't it? And these are part of what we are doing. Just today, when I was called about here, 9:30, I was in Mandeville, undertaking, looking at the Lionel Town Development Plan. We are familiar with Lionel Town Hospital, and we are looking at putting in better infrastructure down there that we can serve more people. Right across the parish, listen, Madam Chair, you don't want me to go on. I feel excited about what is happening right now. Right across the parish, as we seek to fix out and equip our health facilities, we are putting in modern infrastructure that when you come to our facilities, you will be in a more comfortable work environment as you're taken care of. Just run over to Sandy Bay Health Center. Very simple, small health facility. You go there, you wait on the air-conditioned style, Mr. Stewart. Hello. You're going over to Frankfield, that is the same. Up in Thompson Town, that is what is there. Going up to Darlow, basically our clients will be served with style, in modern infrastructure style. However, as we move on through, my 7 minutes gone? As we move on through, ladies and gentlemen online, business people, you have stated it correctly. How can we have a proper business infrastructure without proper health care facilities? If any of you here right now should get sick, one of the first places you're heading is Maypen Hospital, don't it? Yeah, sudden sickness, you're running to Maypen Hospital. But you know what happened? Maypen Hospital is packed. And the outpatient clinic that is to be developed, the specialist clinic, is to help you. 175 bed capacity is packing out with over 200 persons. That's not an easy task to deal with. But herein lies my challenge, Madam Chair. And I walk with two of the plans, the architect impression of what we need. And I've been speaking with my good friend, Mr. Sinclair. And Mr. Stuart, Baron Stewart, and the mayor knows very well of what we are all about in the parish. Please just hold this a second for me. For the Maypen East, you know that little health center down by the bus park? where basically women and children, maternal care we primarily deal with there. It is our desire to build out Mayor in the parish of Clarendon. This, can you just look at this for me? If you can zero in on it, this infrastructure design, that's an architect impression, already designed, IDB already supporting it. And for the last 4 years, I've been trying to find land for the construction of that facility. Now, I am talking with the right people, the business community, don't go away, Mrs. James, to build out that facility. Is that significant? I can tell you this. It's close to almost $1 billion worth of expenditure that I'm trying to put in the parish, and the mayor knows that if I miss a September of this year deadline, I may lose this facility. Can we afford that, people? Can we afford that, business people? No. At the Maypen Hospital compound, here is another facility that we are seeking to put in place. Yes. And this facility is to help us reduce the number of patients going to the Maypen Hospital. This is soon to get going. Mr. Stewart, aren't you excited for what is happening? This is what we are trying to do, and we need a business community. You know that I'm excited. I love healthcare. But before I finish, even with the infrastructure work that I'm doing, there is one thing that I would love for, that is Maypen West. There is one thing that I would love for all of us to do as we deliver health care, is that every one of you here and online, wherever you may be, take responsibility for your health. It is not at the point when you're about to die or you're nearing the hospital or the grave should you be seeking health care. Go to one of our health centers. Currently, we are running the Know Your Numbers campaign across the parish, that at least you can be aware of what is happening with your system. Not when you're about to die, you should be coming to the hospital. Am I correct? Go and get your regular monthly health check. And in particular, men, please, do something about your health. We believe that we are tough. We believe that, hey, it can't happen to me. But, Deputy Soup, I want to see you get your health check before we have to take you and put you on one of the hospital beds. Mr. Stewart, make sure men do something about your health. Because unfortunately, she's running me. The hospital is filled with patients, and primarily, it is the men that is filling up the hospital. Do something about it for me, please. Thank you very much, and it was my pleasure to be here this afternoon.
Thank you. You know what they say, when you overdo your time, you don't get to the additional, because you're supposed to get a second segment, but you talk out all of the first segment. All right, so I trust that that last exciting bit brought you all into the conversation somewhat. We have one final presentation, then we're going to go into the interactive segment. And before the interactive segment, then I'll ask you to do an exercise for me. But before we get into that, let's hear what's happening on the crime front from DSP Cardoza, representing our Senior Superintendent, the Clarendon Police Division. Sir Cardoza, your 7 minutes starts now.
Nice. All right. Just a second. Right, Madam Moderator, good afternoon. Mr. Justice Morris, representing Fustos, Mayor, Sir Joel Williams, other distinguished guests of the Chamber of Commerce and other stakeholders, good afternoon. Right, so
Senior Superintendent was unable to make it today as he was summoned to headquarters at another meeting. So I hope I do him justice today. Now, for Clarendon Policing Division, I will say as a division, we are doing reasonably well in our crime-fighting efforts, leading from last year into now. Now, for last year, I will tell you that we had 69 murders. Now, I pause there because you might be thinking that this is a lot of murders, which it is. But if you are to compare this with 2023 figure, when we saw 105 murders, we have had a significant reduction in our murders. Let me further say that if you were to compare this since 2012, this is the lowest figure that we have come across since 2012, and we have gone up to a high of 169 murders in 2017. So the team has been doing a lot of work. The team has been partnering with all the stakeholders you see here and more. We have a very close relationship with both our external stakeholders and internal partners. Now, we still struggle a bit with robberies and break-ins. The good thing is that based on our analysis since the start of the year, the business community has not necessarily been affected by the robberies. We find that there are other persons, commuters, persons walking along the street who may or may not have been a little carefree and they were robbed. But as far as the business community is concerned, they have not been impacted, which is good, and we hope to keep it that way. With regards to break-ins, we have a couple break-ins that affect businesses, but for the most part, break-ins affect the households. Persons leaving their houses unattended, and culprits break into them whilst they are away. But we continue in our crime-fighting efforts. So if you will see on the street, and you see with me today, there are other members of the Clarendon Police Division. We have Corporal Nelson here who leads the team. He works closely with the municipal corporation and the municipal police. So he's actually the team leader. The municipal police report to the Clarendon Police Division. They are briefed by us. We work alongside them. So it's a good partnership. And they police the business district, especially in the Maypen Town Center. We have Constable Francis here, who is a part of the Community Safety and Security branch, along with the team leader and acting territorial officer, Sergeant Chambers, and they seek to do the other type of intervention activities. So it is not just about hardcore policing. It's not just about that high visibility policing that you will see on the street. These officers, they go in schools. Mr. Francis is the coordinator for the Business Watch groups. So we encourage, just like a neighborhood watch, we encourage our business operators to come together and act as a unit, as a body. So when something is happening, even via technology, even through a WhatsApp group, the team is informed, the police is informed, and then we will act in an appropriate way. So we do several things. Our investigation and intelligence arms, they have also enhanced their operations. So one of the things investigatively that we have been doing is to partner along with other agencies. So we partner with CTOC, we partner with the forensic units. So it's not just about the manual policing. We use up technology. We use up the forensics and ensure that we investigate crimes as best as is possible. We have our intelligence arm as well. So a lot of times persons will be visiting your business places and you are not even aware that they are police officers. And I tell you this, sometimes we get some calls about some suspicious persons, but we actually place them there. So we know exactly who they are. But we do this in such a way for them to blend with society and ensure that we pick up that necessary intel to fight crime. So it's not just about visibility. But I can't leave here without speaking about our high visibility and intensified policing operations. So if you notice, you will find that there are several operations out there, several roadblocks, sometimes to the annoyance of some of the motoring public. But it is a necessary evil, so to speak, because what we do is seek to deny criminals the opportunity to come in our space. And we find that we have been doing, and not to toot our own horns, but we have been doing such a good job that we have been finding that several of the criminals who operated in our space, who reside in our space, have met their demise in other jurisdictions. Why? Because of the type of policing, the type of pressure that we put them under, so they flee and they get careless. So we are doing as much as we can possibly do, and of course, with your help. So what we want from the business community is just for you to implement those basic security measures, as well as also to implement some high-tech security cameras, and we will assist you. Share information with us, and we will all work in one and help to make Clarendon a safer parish. Thank you. And by the way, I just went over by 24 seconds.
I was just coming to announce that the award for the person who stuck to the time closest is, thank you so much, DSP Cardoza. Awesome. And we are happy to hear those reductions. We always love to hear reductions when it comes on to updates from the police. And of course, we love to hear reductions from the health team as well. All right, so it's time for us to get into the interactive segment, which is the interactive panel discussion. But for you to get prepared, let's do a little exercise. I see some people sitting so far from the next person, I don't understand what's going on inside here. All right, so you're gonna have to move closer now. So you're gonna turn to the person next to you. So whether you want to start on the right or the left, depending on who is closest to you. Some of you already know the person next to you, but if you don't know the person next to you, the exercise is for you to introduce yourself. You're going to quickly introduce yourself to the person next to you, and I'm going to know if you were taking notes and just are not just going through the motions. If you already know the person next to you, I want you to share something positive with the person, either something good that they're doing on their team, in their business, but share something positive with the person next to you, whatever it might be. All right, so don't tell me you already know the person next to you. So Wilson, you have to find somebody. Huh? Everybody should be talking to someone. All right, and I have my Parish Youth Council group actively working. I want you to be a part of the networking as well. So make sure, all right, I love it. Nice. All right, so while we are getting that done, let me invite our panelists to come on up and join me here. Miss Eureka Douglas, gonna finish her networking in a little bit. I'm going to invite you to join me up here. Sir Grant, you see what I was telling you? You forgot that you have two segments, so you talk out all of the first segment. Sir Cardoza. All right, you kids. Sir Cardoza, you're going to join me up here. Let's get this all right. And let me join you all down here. So let's have a conversation. All right. Are you ready for the interaction? We're going to hear from the team here. Let's get the microphones. Get some microphones. And all right, so we already have microphones on the stand. So just ensure that they're turned on for me, because this is where you engage. So if you have questions, for those who are joining us online, if you have questions, feel free to type your question, your comment online, and we'll take those as we go through. Let me turn at an angle so I can see Clavina. All right. Get me some more microphones. I made sure to order enough so we don't have to share. All right, so while we're getting that started, all right, Ms. Douglas, let's get right into it. I think most people know about the work that the police does. They know about the work that the health team does. But the PDC, for many, it's a little grayish, right? So let's hear Lady D. How can local businesses actively participate in shaping and implementing community development projects?
One of the major emphasis of the Parish Development Committee is to create partnerships. We have a number of policies that we would like to implement, and we are craving the support of the private sector. And what we have done, for example, the recent project that I mentioned earlier, where we trained 30 young persons in business development and offered them a grant of $150,000, what we would like is for established businesses who have been there for a long time to assist in mentoring and coaching these young business persons. So one of the things that we have discussed with Mrs. Witter is creating an arm of the chamber that supports small and micro businesses. So maybe a little less membership fee and sessions that support the mentorship and coaching of these young people. Sometimes they just need a listening ear. And of course, some of the projects that we are doing, we would love for additional support. We have gotten funding through UMDP, Jeff SGP, USAID in the past as well, and EU. But one of the other elements when we implement small projects is that we need what is called complementary funding or in-kind funding. So we would love for your support, not necessarily in terms of funds, but sometimes in terms of your skill sets and your knowledge. And of course, if you have the financial resources. So say, for example, we are doing that project that I mentioned earlier in Grantham. We wanted to do much more pipelines to assist the community. If we could get some additional pipelines so that we can late the group that is in the community, the Grantham JAS group or CDC, they're willing to provide the sweat equity to get it done. So little things like that, just going into their meetings, encouraging them when there are projects like that. So that is one of the things. The other thing is that we have little hidden gems across the parish. We have been working in the Mason River Reserve, and I don't know if you know where Mason River is. That's way up in Kellitz. It's actually on the border of Kellitz and St. Anne, but they do business in Kellitz, so it's a part of the Kellitz development area. There is a reserve there that can be unlocked. A lot of persons who use that reserve are students and environmentalists. You would not believe what treasures are in this reserve. There is something called Peabody, it's a kind of grass that absorbs water and provides water to the aquifers and the springs all around North Clarendon. So there are hidden gems there that we need to explore and we can advance through community tourism. There are other projects there that we're looking at. There is Peckham Woods. I bet you didn't know that there is a woodland or forest in Peckham Woods. That's above Peckham, above Frankfield, almost going across to Anian Town. And that has several indigenous plants. Persons can go in and do trails, enhance community tourism. That is something that we can do. Look at the hidden treasures in Clarendon and support them. So those are just some of the things that we are looking at. And of course, one of the things that we are promoting is solarization, maximizing rainwater harvesting generally in all the institutions that we work with. So as an organization, you can, as a chamber, help us to promote some of these alternative water options and promote alternative energy conservation as well. So those are some of the major priorities that we are looking at. But there are much more. The Clarendon Local Sustainable Development Plan is 776 pages long. We have a short, popular version. We cover everything that you can think of. So if you get that document, that provides the framework for development projects right across the parish. There's a lot that we can do and a lot more that I can say, but I'll pause here to allow other panelists to speak.
All right, thank you, Ms. Douglas. And some low-hanging fruits there, and already one of them is checked off because last year we did revise the fee structure for the Chamber of Commerce. So it's all from the micro to the conglomerates can come on board to be a part of the change that we want to see and to ensure that we take on some of those collaborative initiatives that Ms. Douglas mentioned and that we're going to hear from our health services sector now about in terms of the regulatory compliance measures. We didn't hear much about that earlier, Sir Grant. What can we do as business community in that area as it relates to regulatory compliance, especially for some of our micro businesses who don't understand the importance of having the food handlers permit and those important matters?
You know, that is priority for us, for the safety of our people, that they, in particular those businesses that has to deal with the sale of food in any form, to comply with the inspector's advice and the regulations that are set forth. In other words, persons who have to sell prepared meal or even around the supermarket area, they must be certified by the health department. They must have their food handler's permit that they should be allowed to handle the food. And any and every business owner should ensure that their staff members are certified. In other words, the inspectors regularly or annually for every person gave them an outline as to what must be done, how they are to keep themselves, how they are to handle the food in order that persons can be safe in managing the food that you're eating. Along with that, likewise, every established food handling business should never prevent the inspectors from entering and checking their establishment. It is against the government of Jamaica principle that you can be fined for it. And likewise, you must have your establishment certified by the inspectors in order to provide food and so on for the people. Otherwise, along with that, you specifically talk about the food handlers, but there's also the regulation acts of immunization for our youngsters. I will leave things like those for the technical person to address, but it is important that your children and even yourself get the necessary vaccination that is required by law in order to prevent the spread of diseases.
Thank you so much for that. All right, we know there are a lot more that could be shared there, but this is just the beginning of the conversation, and I would want to believe that we'll continue depending on how your feedback goes from here on out. But in terms of law enforcement, Sir Cardoza, outside of the traditional measures, what else can the business community do to support law enforcement, especially as it relates to crime prevention and community safety? Any new strategies that we can employ to support the police? We're happy to hear that you haven't been having some of those incidents in the business community, but we want to prevent ahead of any of those happening. What can we do?
All right, so I don't know if these are new strategies. What I do know is that what works is for persons to do the basic. So the basic meaning, if you have a restaurant, whatever the business place is, you at least put some grills on it. Don't just leave your place open to the mercy of thieves. At the very least, you're putting up lights, sensor lights. At the very least, nowadays we have the security cameras, motion sensors. These are things that you can use to assist us. How does this assist us? We may not be able to totally prevent some of the crimes that occur as it relates to business persons, but these use of technological devices will aid us in our investigation. I've seen some very daring thieves, and they will actually see the security camera and take it down and do what they need to do. Yeah. But that initial footage is very important. You can help us by using cameras, installing cameras to watch other cameras. Those measures, it's not just about us visiting you. You can also help us, as I said earlier, by simply sharing what you know. This may not affect your business at this time. It may just affect your neighbor. But you would be surprised sometimes that when we request certain things like the footage from camera, some operators will say, oh, you know, it's not working, or the camera feed is just watching, but it's not recording. And for some reason, that just don't make any sense to me. We are in a new age now. Criminals need to know that they are being watched, need to know that your capture will be swift and certain. And the only way they can be deterred is by knowing that we are being watched. There is the potential for us to catch you in the act or thereafter. So it's really about technology, implementing certain basic security measures, and sharing that information with the police.
Thank you so much for that. And remember, you can ask your question. We have a question coming out of Canada. Lloyd Lewis is asking, he says, good evening. PDC officer, if you could speak to the Clarendon development plan, how it has projected for some of the growing needs like security, healthcare, economic development, utilizing idle lands, importing skills and investments to support the prospect for tourism, manufacturing, and other such job prospects for the citizenry.
That would be an entire lecture.
All right.
I would say to the person who was asking those questions, all that is referenced is in the local sustainable development plan. What I'll do is share the link with Mrs. Witter so that she can share it on the Serenity Connector so that you can have a look for yourself and look at all of the different elements that were mentioned. Everything is addressed. As I said, it covers all the elements of development. It looks at economic development, it looks at social well-being, it looks at environmental conservation and governance, to top that off. So we have covered almost everything, and what we did back then was to have extensive consultations with the residents. So the plan was actually born out of the consultations with the citizens and the stakeholders. So the plan is very extensive. They can go ahead. What I do whenever there is an issue that comes up, I just go ahead, go to the plan, search the issue, and the strategies and suggestions will prop up, and you can use this as a basis for your proposals. The funding agencies, I must say local and international, love when you reference a blueprint, when your initiatives come from a plan. So that is something that I would offer to everybody as a tip. Use the Clarendon Local Sustainable Development Plan as the context for your initiatives, your programs, and your developments. All right, so what we'll do is share the link. It has been shared a number of times, but we'll share again and ensure that we have that distributed widely. I would say to Mrs. Witter, maybe we'll have to have a series on local sustainable development plan for us to cover all the issues in that document.
Indeed. There's actually a recording there. If you search for Clarendon Local Sustainable Development Plan on YouTube, we actually had a segment with the Clarendon Municipal Corporation where we went through that. And as the updates come each month on the fourth Thursday, there are different elements that comes out because you have different entities that's working on different aspects of the plan on an ongoing basis, and even the projects coming into this space that has to do with youth entrepreneurship in terms of addressing youth, what they call at-risk youth development and youth at risk. A number of those, if you look at the document, the project document, all of them speaks to the Clarendon Local Sustainable Development Plan and the figures, because what the funders are looking for, as Ms. Douglas indicated, is how sustainable the projects are going to be, and that is not just a project, but these are some things that can transition into programs and how we can work together moving forward.
Tied to a larger objective, a larger vision.
Right.
I think that's what most of the funders look for.
Right, to see the impact. All right, so let's hear from you. We have listened. Go right ahead, Sir Stuart. Is this microphone on? Right. Evening. On? Okay.
Well, I must. Thank you very much. Good evening, everyone. I must commend all the folks here, right, now, who are this evening taking time out to at least express yourselves. Mr. Grant, I see you have some new energy. I don't know, tell me where it's coming from. And obviously, I tell you, sir, I mean, we are so proud of what's happening here in Maypen at this time. I mean, the crime is going down. I mean, I seldom see incidents of it, and I used to see it every day. They come into my store, and they shoplift, and you catch them, and you have fights, and you have all kinds of things. Things are really, really taking a good turn. And for your PDC, ma'am, I don't know how much I know about it, but I think you're all doing a good job. I just want to add one little bit, though, two things, really. We find that the crime situation can be helped if we can get some of these young people employed, get them involved with some activities that will take them off the streets and give them something to do instead of staying home and maybe having fun at home. they can get out there and do something. And we're saying the young ones, their heart is free, isn't it? Heart is free. Yes. And you're being paid. I think the drive should be to get these young heart people involved, get these young people, identify them, and force them, give them something, give incentive to get inside and get some skills. Because we're having difficulty right now, even at this point in time, finding people to work, good people to work. Some come, they say they want to work, but by the time they start, a couple of years are gone. We're having difficulty finding drivers right now, drivers for heavy equipment and trucks. Why can't we train? I don't know if HART trains drivers, don't they?
Yes.
We cannot find, as they learn to drive, they get a job in Canada or somewhere else, and they're gone. Or Cayman, and they're gone. So I'm really suggesting that we try to find some way of identifying some of these people, getting hold of them, and spending some time to get them some training in these areas, so that at least you can help them and help the community. Right? And also, Mr. Grant, I have to say to you, sir, yes, I encourage us to go. Men, we're not doing what we're supposed to do. My brother passed away recently because of the same problem that you mentioned. You're thinking of right. So keep working, sir. And I hope that you'll bear some fruits. Thank you much.
Thank you, Sir Stuart. I appreciate that. And one thing that came to mind as you shared that you can do as businesses is to encourage your employees, their children, because you would have had some of your employees working with you for a long time and you know them. So if you can encourage them to have their children go in and get these skills, get trained, then you know which home they're coming from. So you, right, so we can start there as businesses in terms of encouraging our employees to have their children trained in the different areas. There are myriads of opportunities around. We have the Clarendon Parish Youth Council executive team here, our youth leaders. Tamaria Daniels, the president for the CPYC. That's the umbrella group. And each of these individuals head up at least one, some of them multiple organizations where they do different initiatives. They go into different schools and communities to engage and encourage the younger ones. And of course, they have the Clarendon Youth Innovation Center. That's there where they can go to get off the street. And they have different initiatives there. They have soap making, they have cake decorating, and different programs going on there from time to time for the unattached youth. So there are a lot of things taking place around. So what we can do is ensure that our employees are aware of what's happening, so we can start there, and hopefully it will trickle down where their children are part of these different initiatives that's taking place to be engaged, and we can help to spread the word throughout the community.
And just to add that through our community safety and security branch, we engage youths from in the schools. Yes. We engage youths that we believe should be attending school and are not. We engage the parents. And you mentioned HART institution. This is a part of our initiatives. So we will engage HART, we will engage other entities and get the youth involved. So through our police youth clubs, they also actually engage, and they will speak to other stakeholders. And some of them have gotten jobs. Some of them end up in the police force itself. Some of them are senior officers. Some have been given high achievements overseas. So we are engaging the youth. As to whether we are engaging sufficiently, we cannot reach every single person, but that's why there's a partnership. That's why there's a collaboration. And we hope to find each and every one that needs that kind of assistance.
Commendations to that, because we actually had a forum where some awesome report coming out of Clarendon where someone was happy to share that they got certified through the Police Youth Club. Somebody got a job through the Police Youth Club. And we had Inspector Mela Wallace sharing that she started in the youth club and now an inspector of police, and a lot of other success stories coming out. And the stories from Clarendon are amazing. It's just that we don't know about them. And so we are seeking to highlight them. Ms. Douglas.
Just to highlight some of the issues that Mr. Stewart brought out, that is something that at the PDC we recognize that the young persons are not motivated to become a part of these. So the programs are there and they're available. And we share them on social media, we talk about them, but they are not accessing them. So one of the programs that we had developed was called the Youth Empower Program, and we are actively looking for funding for it, but we wanted to look, one of the outputs was to look at civic education and corporate and kind of responsibility as citizens, looking at values and attitudes as a part of the program. Then we would have looked at apprenticeship and training, as well as being a part of the police youth club movement and organizations that can continue the mentorship. So that was an active project that we actually, funding was earmarked for it, but a nameless organization withdrew the funds, but we have the proposal in hand, and we wanted to target youth in Maypen and Lioneltown primarily, because those are the areas that we were finding that youth were not involved enough. You know, incidentally, when you have a program, the young people up north will want to be a part of it. But those on the central and the southern side need to be a little bit more motivated. So that is what that 3-year Youth Empower program should have done. So we have the program and we are actively seeking to see if we can get additional resources to roll out the program. Because though Heart is free, you have to have a motivational program and a consistent coaching and mentorship program that keeps them going and keeps them involved. So that is what we will be looking at and actively pursuing for 2025 into 2026.
Awesome. All right, we have another question. All right, introduce yourself so we all know who you are.
Good evening. My name is Donald Smith. So I find myself among a wave of young entrepreneurs, right? I consider us to be the seeds of economic development within the parish. And I know one of the major challenges that we face as entrepreneurs is we are ignorant of the resources that are available to us, right? But my question is, does the Clarendon Local Sustainable Development Plan include provisions for business incubators or the expansion of factory spaces for, micro businesses?
Yes, the plan does have all of that, and we have been doing small tranches. So we had a group of persons, young women that were trained in 2022 under what was called the Spotlight program. And so we have been, and there is also the work that we have been doing with the SDC through the Local Economic Development Initiative, and there is also the Local Economic Development component of the CMC. So we have been working, but the funds resources are not always available. So we do small tranches, like 30 persons or 25 persons each time. And I just want to highlight that one of the success stories is sitting right next to you, Mr. Romeo Mitchell, who came out of the Local Economic Initiative and Youth in Business program and has been doing well, even won a pitch competition the other day through Ministry of Industry and Commerce. So there is assistance. What we want to do is to get you involved, get you a part of the Chamber of Commerce, and ensure that you have the support, that we have these discussions so we can guide you. There is resources, we are available, we just need to get ourselves together.
Indeed.
A follow-up question.
Right,
Yes.
and just to share that Mr. Smith was also one of those pitch competition winners.
Winners, congratulations. Yes.
Let me
Thank
promote
you.
for him Smith Rum Cream.
All right.
Okay.
All right, so just a little clarity on what I meant by incubators.
Yes.
So a challenge that my business, for example, has is space in order to produce. So I find that I have to go as far as Kingston to the JBDC incubator facility on Marcus Garvey Drive in order to produce even a single batch of 100 bottles of rum cream, right? So that comes with a lot of cost associated with it. So my question about incubators really was about, space for, businesses such as myself in order to, produce here in the parish.
And there is, as I said, the plan has that aspect in it, and what we have been discussing over the past few years with Factories Corporation is to have these spaces. There is one at Hayes. So there are incubation centers, but we just need to know what it is that you want to do and what kind of equipment that is needed. We need space to develop those incubators, but it is a part of the plan. And as I said, Factories Corporation of Jamaica is actively trying to set up centers right across the parish.
All right. Just to add to that before Romeo asks his question, that is why it's important that businesses align with the Chamber of Commerce, because that is where we collate and we can put through an argument to the Factories Corporation and others as to why it is important for them to invest in Clarendon to get that facility up and running. Because we had consultation about 4 years or more ago.
Several.
Yes, about, right, the space in Hayes. But
And space is there, no?
yes, the space is there.
Yes.
That's
First
right.
is operating from Hayes, and there's one in Paisley as well. So but I think you would want equipment as well. So it's for us, if we had known that this is something that we could bring, we could have some consultations and get that message out to the different entities, JBDC, Factories Corporation, to see how we can collaborate in setting up these incubations.
All right, so that's one immediate
Centers, yeah.
action coming out
That's
of
another one, right.
this meeting that we can move forward. Romeo, your time.
So good evening, everyone. Romeo Mitchell here, representing the brand Paradise Blends. And I want to say thank you for this initiative. It's a great initiative, and it's something that I was looking forward to for a long while. So I'm a part of the local economic initiative from the SDC, and as Ms. Eureka said, I would have been a part of the Clarendon Youths in Business. And I am one of the few surviving members. And I would have came out in 2018. Now, one of the things that I would have approached the Clarendon Municipal Corporation with is to allow us to use the space at the clock, that beautiful space. And I presented a beautiful pitch, I think 2 years ago, while Mr. Maraj, 2 years ago, yeah man, because Mr. Maraj was mayor at the time, and they loved the presentation. And we were told that the area will not be used for vending. But when I passed there, I think last week, Saturday, and I saw, I think Maggie, I think I saw Maggie there, and they were doing vending. Even though you will call it promotion, I see it as vending because they are selling products. You understand? And if it is that the Clarendon Municipal Corporation created a program and it was awarded as an initiative by the PIOJ in 2018, your very own, you are not affording the space. You understand? And one of the breakdown also is that you would invest in people like me, but then the follow-ups. That's the biggest breakdown. Invest in millions, and then it is like the follow-up is not there. One of the things that we also have been encountering is that as businesses in Clarendon, local businesses, We approach the supermarkets and stores, and we are not getting in these stores. We are just not getting in there. Many times when we approach, what we are told is just openly, no. No explanation, no. And you don't even get the chance to engage in a conversation, no. And the few who says something different is that you're not an established business. What happens when we have a spoilage? Will you take back the products? And when we say yes, and I'm sure my friend Donald here and Jason, two local economic initiatives, they encounter the same. And I am asking if it is that we could develop a program where we have these businesses have a little space in your supermarket, your establishment, Clarendon. These are all Clarendon businesses, and this is what you're asking for.
Awesome recommendation there. Mayor, go ahead. Sure.
Next one.
I am not aware of your proposal, but I will seek to have some information on it and see how we can act on it. But it's very interesting that he raised that point, because I just called in Mr. Nelson on Monday, who is the head of the municipal team, and have a discussion with him as it relates to that corridor, the clock tower for beautification and 7th Road. So it's very interesting that you make that point. And we are meeting there on Sunday morning, to meet with the vendors first of all, for them to understand what my thinkings are, and then to take it to the next level. I want to engage them first before we start to do what we have to. But I intend to clean up that entire area, and for that area, I even wrote to Best Jess. I stopped a few nights ago, or 2 weeks ago, one night. I met with the chicken vendors, and I said, out here look too untidy. So I have written to Best Jess, asking them to give me some branded umbrellas to make them look more uniform and allowing that area to look more, have a better aesthetic. So it's something that we're working on.
All right, thank you for that. And Romeo, we'll
should
take
be
up,
able to fit into.
Right. We'll take up that additional point.
And
That's
we'll
something
follow
through the
through the civic committee at
Yes.
the local municipal council. So we will we'll follow through on that proposal with you, Mayor.
All right. Any other burning question as we prepare to wrap? Anything from you? No. Go ahead, Mayor. Mr.
Stewie.
Oh, yes.
From Denby.
Yeah.
He's gone. I know there is a concern as it relates to when we are going to roll out the Spark program. We have submitted 10 rows. They have identified 4 to begin in short order. As it relates to the main street, we would have done Trenton Road already, we would have done Paisley Avenue, we would have done the bridge, we would have done Penguin Key, and some other areas around the town. For those who are along the main street, I want you to know that that main street will be coming on stream in short order. For cleaning up, patching out, as it relates to that program. I know he was asking me some question, but Bert, your corridor will be looking great in short order. Yeah, because I saw a lot of businesses taking shape down in that corridor.
Oh yes.
A lot of businesses
expanding
are
to the other Denby section.
I want to make sure that we do what is necessary to complement their business.
That is right.
Yeah.
All right. So already we have a number of action points coming out. So we're not just here to sit and talk, but we are going to actually be following up to ensure that the challenges that were raised, recommendations that were made are actually actioned so that we can strengthen, because that's why we're here, to support public-private partnership. So as we wrap, let's hear from each entity represented here. How can we continue this conversation after today? As I said, it's not just talk show. We already have a program through where we have weekly live forum with these different entities where they share updates and what's going on. So just in case you're not familiar with the Serenity Resource Connector platform, that was actually an initiative to actually highlight the awesome stuff that's happening in Clarendon. It was so good that others outside of Clarendon have been reaching out to get on the program. So we have a number of entities outside of Clarendon now, but that was the idea, to highlight some of these things that people are not aware of. We had the Parish Development Committee, we shared about the step to becoming a Justice of the Peace, and someone from out of St. Catherine reached out to say that they actually watched the program into the interviews for their to become a Justice of the Peace for St. Catherine. They were able to respond to the questions based on what our former Custos and Miss Douglas would have shared on that program. That's about 3 years ago, Miss Douglas, about 2021, 22, when we just started there. So that was developed to strengthen what is happening. So we have the Municipal Corporation on tomorrow evening at 8 p.m. sharing on we're looking at the different committees, what exactly it is that they do, and what we as citizens in the parish can do to be a part of what is taking place there. So there's a lot that we can do. The Parish Development Committee actually heads this initiative where we meet monthly to get updates from these different entities. But if we're not coming together so that we can share the challenges that are happening, then we're not able to take the conversation to the next level, to have that kind of discussion. Through the Chamber of Commerce, there are challenges that we're experiencing here that's not unique to Clarendon. So those are taken to our quarterly All-Island Chambers of Commerce meetings that the Clarendon Chamber is represented at since I took up mantle. Maybe 2 times I've been absent from those quarterly meetings, taking different challenges coming out to do with maybe the internet challenges, water challenges, and what we do, ABM machines, is engage the Bankers Association, not just as a chamber in the parish, but as a united voice. Chambers across the island speaking on these issues, where we have all the representatives from the different utility companies coming to the table, where we share what exactly the challenges are and how we're going to deal with them as a united front. All right? So it's just not just Maypen Chamber of Commerce and Industry in isolation. For that, what we do is engage very regularly with these different entities represented here in the space. But outside of that, we are also a part of the All-Island Chambers of Commerce Network, where we take the global, the national rather. I'm thinking local, but operating global. All right, so that it can be addressed at that level. Go ahead, Romeo.
Yeah. So, all right, so we're having a discussion, and we have a group, We have a really vibrant group, WhatsApp group, and one of the things that we came up with is that, for example, the hospital, with that huge complement of staff, and the whole 9 to 5, and it's hard for them to get to even the supermarket. And we are saying that as businesses, if we could get the opportunity to even set up even once per month on your compound, and we'd even offer discounts to your staffing. And the same goes to the other agencies, you understand? Even one area in Maypen, to just everyone come together and we have that type of relationship.
Mayor, what Romeo mentioned, I think I can remember clearly. We had similar discussion, right? So we want to step that up in terms of the actions now. We have had several meetings, Romeo, where that was discussed. So now it's time for us to make it happen. All right? All right. Any final word as we wrap? Lady Douglas, then Sir Grant, and then Sir Cardozo.
I've taken note of the suggestions, and we at the Parish Development Committee, we normally try to action them, whether it is to lobby or to organize meetings to get them action, networking with the relevant agencies, businesses. We have taken note of them, and part of our initiative is to mobilize partners to address the problems. So we are not going to address them by ourselves, but as Romeo and others well know, what we do is to bring all parties together to look at the issues. And what we are promising today is that we'll continue to work with the Chamber of Commerce, continue to work with all entities, the police, the health department, to address some of the issues that were highlighted today. And as I said, as a reference point, I go back, we have a plan. And what we need to do is to continue to action the plan and ensure that we implement aspects of the plan, share and track what is happening, because a lot is happening. But we are not acknowledging that we have in Clarendon one of the best networks, one of the best planning and mobilization network that exists across the island. And we need to make it work and acknowledge it a little bit more. So I leave that with us as a team and as a group here tonight.
Thank you, Ms. Douglas. Go ahead, Sir Grant.
All right, thanks for the opportunity to share with you what we're doing in the health services from the Clarendon Health team. And we look forward to the continued partnership. Ourselves and the police, we have been partnering, and other business entities, we have been partnering for as long as with the health services. And I believe we will only get better as we continue to grow, as we continue to serve the people. And yes, my plea again is that I would rather to see every one of you out here on the streets, walking, doing your business, than for you to be laid down in the hospitals or to end up at the health centers occupying the time there. Nonetheless, I humbly request of you and those online, when you come to our facilities, please treat our staff with respect. They are humans like any one of us in here, and they undergo pressure like anybody else. I mean, it's not an easy game when you have to be seeing persons' sicknesses back to back to back to back. It's not an easy game. Just treat our staff with courtesy and respect, and you will be amazed the result that you will get. Because the moment you start kicking off on someone, someone is going to put up some defense. Treat the facilities properly likewise, and you will have a long-standing facility to serve you. Men, again, I appeal to you, wherever you are, value your health. Just take 30 minutes each day and do some vigorous exercise to reduce the non-communicable disease that affects most of us. That is the strokes, the heart disease, the hypertension, and the diabetes. Just do something. And again, it is important. Avoid all that is harmful to your body. Value your health. We don't want to see you in the hospital sick. Come and look for us if you want to give us some help. But don't come there, come lay down in the hospital. Just value your health. Thank you very much, and we are here to serve. Oh, thank you very much. On Easter Monday, we will be having a 5K walk starting at the health department and terminating at the Denby Showground, where we will be in particular, again, reaching out to the farmers, men, in order that they can get an understanding of their health condition, to know what is to do, there to do in order to prevent being sick. We are not excluding the women likewise. But please, come and join us. Easter Monday, 5:30, 5K walk, terminate at the Demi Showground, where we will treat our men. Thank you very much.
That's right, Sir Cardozo.
All right, thank you. Help us to help you. Continued partnership, collaboration is what is important to us. We are here ready and willing to support each and every business entity here. We have gotten several requests that we honor as much as is possible. All we want you to do is to get involved. Get involved, speak to us, get involved in the business watch groups. Sergeant Chambers and his team, Corporal Nelson and his team, they go and visit the businesses like on a daily basis. We're talking about gas stations, we're talking about the pharmacies, the hardwares, other small and large businesses. So this is a time when you engage the team. Let us know what is happening. Let us know the potential issues that you may be having and help us to help you to address them. We are here for you. We are here to support you and just to make Clarendon a safer place.
Thank you. And there you have it. You've heard from the team, or a portion of the team, leading out here in Clarendon. And we continue the collaboration. So let me thank Eureka Douglas, our General Manager at the Clarendon Parish Development Committee Benevolent Society. We have DSP Anton Cardozo from the Clarendon Police Division representing SSP Shane McCullough. And of course, Joseph Grant from the Clarendon Health Services, our parish manager. Let's hear it for them for making the time to come and share with us. All right. And let me thank you who were able to stay with us in person and online. We have a question there? Or comment? Okay, go ahead and share, Clavina. Comments online?
To those who are tuned in online, thank you so much for watching. We have not forgotten about you. We have some positive feedback here that I love to share. So we do have Lando Cole, who said very good updates thus far during the town hall meeting. We have Natoya Coley, who said very informative session. We have Jazz Pike, who said Clarendon Blends is very much needed at the hospital. And last but not least, we have Ruth Bissoon, who gave compliments to all of the panelists here tonight, especially Miss Douglas. She said, well done.
Fantastic. All right, I'm just seeing a comment here. We need a park for Maypen and surrounding areas. All right, that's something that we have to look into. All right, we hear claps going up down there. It's in the making. Yes, because we heard last year that we're supposed to have at least one in each parish, and we're holding you to it. All right. There's a follow-up question that I missed earlier. Is there an ongoing consultation relationship between PDC, Chamber of Commerce, and investment capital sources in the parish? Yes, we do have ongoing consultation. Just keep the communications flowing, and we will engage at I was sharing earlier that monthly we meet as the Parish Development Committee Management Committee, where these different concerns, updates are shared, and that's where we actually engage with the municipal corporation, the Chamber of Commerce, the different community groups represented by what we call the Development Area Committee Chair that heads up the different spaces. Is what, 7 of them we have now? 8? Oh yes, we had another one added across the parish of Clarendon. So it's not just Maypen. So we have representation all across the parish. However, for the businesses in these different spaces in Clarendon, let me speak to those who are online, who are not able to join us whenever you're watching this. Yes, we have different groups across the parish that you can engage with and support the community development initiatives. If there are unique challenges in your space, you can bring it to your community development committee. If you didn't know about it, there's one in your neck of the woods so that the information can come up through the channel to the Parish Development Committee so it can be addressed at that parish level. All right. Sir Lewis, I trust that took care of your questions. All right. And I'm so happy to have support. My Youth Forum host, Clavina Brown, will do the wrap up for us this evening. Clavina, come join me here. All right.
A pleasant what do I say now? Good evening now to everyone. It has been a pleasure hearing the different initiatives that are coming out here, as well as the questions and concerns of those voiced during the interactive session. I must say it is a gem to be able to interact. After all, that is the essence of the town hall meeting here today. It's to connect and build and empower communities to ensure that Clarendon is a thriving parish. So I want to say thank you very much to everyone for coming out today. Please make sure that you take note of the actionable things that will be taking place going forward. There weren't just suggestions. You heard real-time feedback to your questions and concerns. So the next time a town hall meeting is being held, I look forward to seeing each and every one of your faces here tonight and going forward into the future. Thank you very much. It's been a pleasure. Once again, my name is Clavina Brown, and I work alongside Mrs. Witter here, of course, through Serenity Resource Connector. Thank you.
Thank you. And I have to commend Clavina and the team that you see there, Offstage Pass and Gen X Production. We have met at different points in the journey. Well, Clavina is family. So I've watched her grow and taken her under my wings because I've seen the potential from she was like a little baby. They used to tell her, you talk too much. I said, leave her alone. There's a space for that. Now she's getting paid to talk. All right? So I love the enthusiasm. And the team from the Clarendon Parish Youth Council, when I called on them for support for this initiative, they were just so excited. And that's something that I want to highlight, that we don't take for granted here in the parish. We have a group of young people who are interested in community development, and we want to make sure that we give them the guidance that they need and the support to keep that fire, that flame burning, because we're only here for a while. And so we want to make sure that we have some succession plan afoot so that they can take over when our time here is done. And with that said, my time here at the lectern is over for this evening. So let me thank you once again, those in person and online, for joining us. And let this be the beginning of more of these kind of initiatives and, more importantly, actions going forward. Feel free. I'm sorry for those online that weren't able to be here to enjoy the networking in person and the fellowship that we're going to have now as we partake of refreshment, courtesy of Cousins Construction Services, of course. And let me not forget to thank our chamber member, Clarendon Highridge, for providing us with these chairs for our special interactive segment and the plans that you see there. The team, support team, thank you so much for your hard-working support. Some have been here from 2 p.m. Thank you so much. And thank you all again for being here. Good evening.
DJ T-Face, life of the party.
Here with?
I am Tanya Oglesby from First Heritage Cooperative Credit Union, the Maypen branch.
Okay. Oh, hello. I did an interview recently with First Heritage Global. We talked about money moves on the youth forum with Serenity Resource Connector. So nice to meet you. Now, you've been here for the entire town hall meeting. What do you think about it?
It's my first time here, and so it was, for me, a tremendous opportunity to be here. I saw so many good intentions being highlighted and the plans that they have to develop Maypen, and I was particularly encouraged by what even we do at the credit union, because the initiatives that were mentioned here this evening, it's crossing like corporate borders. It's mixing and combining skills and knowledge by educating people on how they can actively contribute to improve not just the business in Maypen, but all the other facets. And so it's almost like a lock arms initiative. We're here locking arms to see how we together can meet needs and we can live and survive and learn and be safe while we're doing it. So it really was a tremendous opportunity to be here, to be part of this initiative, and I look forward to being a part of it, an active part of this. Yes, thank you so much.
She said it was a lot to take in today. I'm leaving feeling very excited and hopeful for the future for Clarendon. Thank you so much once again, and I hope to see you at the next town hall meeting. Thank you. So don't worry, we're going to keep on going along with it. So who am I here with today?
So my name is Donald Smith, and I am CEO and founder of Smith's Rum Cream, the newest manufacturer of, only manufacturer of lactose-free rum cream on the market.
And with that being said, ensure that you all drink responsibly, 18 years and older. I've had the rum cream, and I must say it's very nice. Now, as an entrepreneur, what are you most looking forward to leaving this town hall meeting?
Well, so the question that I posed in the forum was about the availability of incubator spaces for micro businesses. That's something that I hold dear because it impacts me directly, and I was very pleased to find out that we were, as micro businesses, accounted for in the sustainability plan.
Okay, awesome. And if you could share one piece of advice to other entrepreneurs who are not able to make it to the town hall meeting, what would you say to them?
Well, so the important thing for micro businesses to know is that there are resources available to them in the form of SDC, for example. These resources will help you to develop. You can see Smith's Rum Cream, if you check it out, is proof of the aid that we've been given today.
All right, thank you so much. There you heard it. Lovely things coming out of the town hall meeting tonight. Thank you very much. I hear it.
I am Tamara Daniels, the president of the Clarendon Parish Youth Council.
All right. Now, you're a part of the Youth Council. Now, tell me, why was it so important for you to be here today to represent?
Well, it was important for my council to represent because Miss Witter invited us. And I think that she is a pioneer for young people, and she really believes that this type of forum is a great initiative for us to be aware as to what's happening in our parish so that we can then spread it over to our young people overall. I am a proponent for youth development, and businesses, we always reach out to businesses for support and also assistance. So this is a great way of us networking so that we can better be able to serve the youth of Clarendon.
Now, for a young person who wasn't able to make it tonight, what is one thing that stood out to you that you would like to express to them?
I would say take up space. There are several businesses that are willing and able to work with you. You just need to have a vision and also participate. There are so many youth programs that are out there, but so many persons are not aware. And so this is why we are here as a council so that we can get the vessel and let you guys know exactly what's going on.
You heard it here. Take up space. There are businesses and entities waiting to hear your ideas and waiting to have you thrive to make Clarendon better. Thank you.
Thank you much. Yes. Great.
So I am here with someone who by no means needs an introduction. I am here with Miss Serenity Resource Connector herself. How are you doing?
I am doing fine, just happy to be able to facilitate our first town hall meeting as a Chamber of Commerce here in Maypen, Clarendon. And not because you're here, Maypen Chamber of Commerce means it's just Maypen. We represent the parish of Clarendon as we seek to collaborate with different stakeholders to ensure the interest of the businesses across Clarendon.
Well, you did an amazing job moderating the town hall meeting tonight. Now, did it meet your expectations? What were you thinking about going into the very first town hall meeting tonight?
Meeting my expectations. I didn't have much in terms of an expectation except for the fact that I wanted persons to become more aware of the different groups in the parish, what exactly each does, basically similar to the Serenity Resource Connector concept, and how we can work together as business and stakeholders to ensure that we understand why the health services do what they do, why the parish development committee do what they do, and the different entities, the police, and how we can work with them to make business operations in Clarendon better, and how their job can be easier as they seek to support and serve the people in this space. And there are a host of opportunities too, and I would have learned a whole lot through the different live forums on Serenity Resource Connector, and I want more Clarendonians to know about what's happening and how you can take advantage of the different opportunities around. And I trust that from the feedback coming through that you shared earlier, that objective has been met, and even from some of the feedback here on the ground. So I'm looking forward to the actions coming out of what we discussed earlier here as we move forward.
Lovely, very beautifully said. And as the Youth Forum host, I think it is only right for me to ask you, what is something that you are hopeful for to your youth viewers who are watching tonight after leaving this town hall meeting?
That they will catch the flame that you possess in ensuring that you recognize the importance of collaborating, and that youth have a voice in what's happening in this space and how you can be a part of the conversations and the actions as we move forward together, and not the youth operating in silo and everybody else operating over there, but how do we come together to ensure that we protect this space that we have, that can only be better if each of us give our best in whatever areas that we serve in, because there's a space for everyone.
There is definitely a space for everyone, and of course here at SRC we love to provide the space and the platform for everyone to voice their opinions. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Clavina. Awesome job.
Thank you. You're, yeah, come right along here. Good night, Mayor. How are you?
Good evening. I'm fine.
Good evening, sorry. Yes, so tonight was the first town hall meeting for Clarendon. And even though we said Clarendon, we know that's not the only parish who would be interested in this town hall meeting tonight. So could you tell me, what was the thought process going behind the town hall meeting tonight? Why was it important for this to be started?
It is important because Maypen is the most important town in Jamaica. And if you looked on, you will see that there are a lot of development that is taking place. Where I sit as the mayor, I'm pretty excited because yesterday I met with two businessmen who have interest in doing business in Maypen. I have one on Friday at 1 o'clock to meet with, and there are several other projects that I have on stream that are in the pipeline, people that I'm talking with. And yes, so this town hall meeting could not come at a better time.
I agree with you. While I was listening, it sounded like a lot of promising things that are to come for Clarendon and are to come for the youths. And I would love to ask you, what is one piece of advice or something you would like to leave the viewers here tonight who are not able to make it, that would just capture everything here tonight?
I would like to say to those who were not able to make it here this evening, that they are to do whatever they can in their own space to get on board. Because in the next year or two from now, Maypen and by extension Clarendon is going to be the place to do business, reside, and to retire. Pretty exciting. Pretty exciting.
Very exciting, lovely, lovely takeaways from tonight's town hall meeting. And as you would have mentioned, what did it say in the tagline? It's for Clarendon to be the place to thrive, for businesses to connect and develop. That is what the conversation here was all about. It has been a pleasure speaking to you, Mayor.
Same here, and I want to use the opportunity for those who are watching overseas and locally to get in touch with the Chamber of Commerce, get in touch with the Clarendon Municipal Corporation. We're ready for business. We're open.
Yes, you heard it. Is there a number or a email that you could share with them?
Yes. Well, they could go on the platform, the website, and we will make the connection.
All right, thank you very much. The information is at your fingertips. They are waiting to hear from you. So don't miss out on your opportunity to have your voice heard. Thank you.
Thank you too.
Yes.
Have a good evening.
Same to you. Well, there you have it. It is a bittersweet moment. We have officially come to the end of the Maypen Chamber of Commerce, Industries and Business Town Hall meeting. It was very insightful, very promising, and we are looking forward to a better, thriving Clarendon in the months and even years to come. Thank you so much for watching and staying tuned here at Serenity Resource Connector, where Mrs. Winsome Witter herself moderated the event. We have our collaborating partners. We have Gen X Media, and of course we have Offstage Pass, who have been diligently working behind the scenes to be able to share and bring this live forum here to you live. Thank you so much for watching, and we look forward to bring coverage to you for our next event at another time. Thank you so much, and have yourself a great rest of evening.
it's okay if you don't talk to me, cause you don't pay my bills every month. God